Sometimes I have these days where I'm really like, I want to wear pink. And then this is what happens. There's a lot of pink happening today. I mean, and I kind of like it. I think I would like it better if the foundation is more full coverage. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's the All Natural cream foundation I've been playing with lately. It doesn't really seem to have that much coverage for me, but I know a lot of people really love it. So I'm like, am I using it wrong? It just doesn't seem to have a lot of pigment and coverage on it. And I am breaking out a little. I'm testing a skincare range where one of the products I was pretty sure had broken me out a couple of times before. So I took a break from it, and then I tried it again once my skin was clear and I knew that that stuff was no longer, you know, like in my pores and on my skin or whatever. And the same day that I put it on, I immediately started breaking out again. So I know that that specific product has been breaking me out. So I'm no longer going to be using it and testing it. I'll be talking about it in the review that I'm going to do, which kind of makes me sad because I love everything else from the line, but that one thing is, it massively makes me break out. So I'm still sort of suffering from that a little bit, trying to heal that breakout. And I'm pretty dewy, pretty glowy, pretty all the pink things as well. So you're gonna be seeing 2 videos of me in this because I'm gonna film 2 different videos today. This is the first one. So I had this idea to show you guys products that I sort of like never talk about. They're things that I use all the time. Most of them sit in my shower, which is probably why I never talk about them. And unless they sort of like, I don't know, they aren't in like favorites because they're just sort of like staple products at this point. They're products I use all the time. They're products I just never talk about. But that doesn't mean that they're not good. It's just sometimes stuff gets lost. You know, there's a lot of new releases. You know, there's videos that I do that are specific to like new releases or, you know, favorites videos or things like that. And these things, while I love them and I use them all the time, they just don't get, you know, a lot of mention time on my channel. So I thought that I would do a video just on products that I use all the time, but I hardly ever talk about. I won't say that I never talk about them because I know I've mentioned these things, you know, in the past. I, you know, will talk about them every once in a while, not like show them necessarily, but I'll talk about them when I'm talking about something else. So yeah, these are just things that I hardly ever talk about, but use all the time. So I thought this would be a good idea. So I was in my shower and I was like, you know, I have all these things that I use all the time and I never talk about them. I should talk about them. So yeah, there's this video and there's some other videos that I'm thinking. There's one that I've got where it's like, you know, products that expired before I could get to them. I filmed one of those, I want to say it was nearly a year ago now. And that one was a little bit less embarrassing because not, you know, as much has gone bad and a lot of the products were like really old, but I actually have amassed quite a few products that have gone bad at this point. And I keep putting it off, but then it keeps adding to the pile. So I might try to film one of those soon. And then I'm also going to be doing an eyeshadow palette video after this one. So things that may be coming or things that will be coming eventually. So let's talk about things that I use all the time that I hardly ever talk about on my channel anymore. I'm going to talk about a couple of staple things that I buy all the time. These never even make it into empties because we go through them so fast. There's really no point in showing you these like every single month. I've talked about them, you know, if you are a longtime follower of my channel, I've mentioned them in some Vitacost or iHerb hauls, or, you know, I talked about, I think I did like a Vitacost staples video at one point. So this is the body soap and the hand soap that I religiously use. I never use anything else. I never buy anything else. These are just my favorites. So it's the One with Nature Dead Sea Spa triple milled mineral soap with argan oil and shea butter. This is my favorite soap. It is non-drying. It leaves my skin, you know, really moisturized. I love the scents on them. You know, a couple of my favorites are like guava, grapefruit, and then there's blackberry pear, which is one of my favorites. So I order these things like in bulk from Vitacost every couple of months. Yeah, it's just, they're affordable. They do have palm oil in them, which is like the only thing. They do list fragrance, but they say that their fragrance is 100% natural and created from essential oils. They use plant-based pigments. But yeah, I mean, like the only negative thing about them is they do use palm oil, which maybe is what makes them so affordable. And maybe I should be looking for palm oil free, you know, body soap. So maybe once like the batch that I have now is gone, I'll start, you know, looking into some more. But I'm a creature of habit, and if like I find something that I really, really like and works for me, and I don't want to mess with it. So then these ones, so then the hand soap I use is the South of France hand soaps. I've talked about these a billion times. They're pretty minimal ingredients. They're non-drying. They do, again, also have fragrance, but I don't know if that's, I think it's naturally derived. I'm not sure. This one's in like a different language, but the ingredients are pretty minimal. This one does have beeswax in it, which I can't remember if they all had beeswax. But again, these are like the hand soaps I buy all the time because they're non-drying, you know, they work really well. But yeah, I just hardly ever talk about those things anymore because we go through them so quickly. I don't want to throw them in my empties and they just be like in my empties all the time, because like, you get it. I use soap, I use hand soap, everybody does. So yeah, I don't talk about those things that often, but those are the ones that I use, you know, religiously. I never buy anything else though. Maybe I should start to branch out. It's been a few years. So then a cleanser that I always use, well, I guess a couple of let's do cleansing products, I guess, that I always use that I like hardly ever talk about anymore, is the Hanua Pa'akai cleansing cream. This one specifically came in the Pearlesque box. I want to say it was February. I can't really remember. It was the second time that Hanua was featured in the Pearlesque box, and it came with one of the new 4-ounce cleansing creams. I have used a full size of the 2-ounce one before. I really, really love this cleansing cream. It's, you know, it's super gentle. It works really well. It mixes great with like cleansing grains, which I do have here. I've got some cleansing grains to talk about because I don't really talk about them that much. But yeah, this is a really great cream cleanser. It's got salt in it, but it's not drying. It doesn't burn or anything like that. I never have any like irritation when I use it. I mean, everybody, of course, that's going to be subjective to your skin type and what, you know, your skin's condition if you've got more sensitive skin than I do. But if you're someone who's got, you know, acne oily prone skin, this is a face wash that I really, really like. And it is one that I will definitely, how many times have I showed this to you now? 3? It's one that I'll rebuy in the future. So that's a cleanser that I use all the time. Another sort of like cleansing product, this is more of like an exfoliator. I used to talk about this a ton on my channel. I haven't mentioned it in quite a while, so I figured, you know, give it a refresher. It's the Leilani Honey Love Microdermabrasion Exfoliator. This is, I believe, the 3rd jar of it that I've been through, and I pretty much always have one like sitting in my shower. I like to mix it with the Leilani Pamplemousse to create like an enzymatic, physical, just baby's butt smooth face cleanser. I love that combination. I pretty much only use this with the Pamplemousse. I never use this like on its own anymore. And I sort of switch off. Like some days I'll use the Pa'akai mixed with the cleansing grains, or other days I'll use the Honey Love mixed with the Pamplemousse. That's sort of like my shower cleansing ritual of choice. I really don't use anything else in the shower. So yeah, then I rotate through 3 different cleansing grains. One that I think I've talked about the most is the Granola Goat Fresh AF. I'm actually nearly out of this bottle. Let's see. Yeah, you can see there's very little left. And I did buy another one of these, but I'm actually giving it away in a big Instagram giveaway that I have going on. And this is going to go up before that ends. So if you haven't entered my big Instagram giveaway, just go ahead and go enter it. But yeah, I love these cleansing grains. They're very affordable. They're very effective at like exfoliating my skin without, you know, it being too harsh. But again, that's totally subjective to my skin type and what my skin can handle. Then if you want one that's more gentle, if you are someone that's like looking for a more gentle one, you'd probably like the Malaya Herbal Facial Polish. This one is to brighten and clarify, but this one is a much gentler formula than the Fresh AF one. This one has sort of like bigger, grittier grains. This one is just, it's definitely more of a like a finer milled powder. But I also really, really like this one. I use it less because I do prefer like the grittier, more abrasive exfoliants, but I do like this one when, you know, my skin is, it doesn't need like a lot of exfoliation, but I still want to exfoliate it a little bit. I'll mix these 2 together. I mix this with all the cleansing grains, but yeah, I mix these with this. And yeah, I really like this one. I haven't really talked about it much I want to say since I got it, because I talked about it when I did my cleansing powders and exfoliators video, which I can't even remember when that, I feel like that might have been like over a year ago, maybe a year and a half. I don't know time, but yeah, that video, I think that's the last time I talked about it, I want to say. But yeah, it sits in my shower. I use it maybe once a week, once every other week. Most of the time I do end up using this, but yeah, love that stuff. I think it's really great. Malaya Organics has a lot of really great products. They make one of my favorite masks ever. If you haven't checked it out, I've raved about that mask a ton though, so you probably know what I'm talking about. Another one that I use that I haven't talked about since I did the review for it, but I do still use this pretty religiously. I use it at least once a week as a cleansing grain though. I don't use it as a mask just because it lives in my shower, and it's sort of where it ended up. This is the Namari Staub, which is it's a cleansing grains, but it also can be used as a mask, so it's a multi-purpose. You can use it either way. I have used it as a mask. It is beautiful as a mask. I do tend to use it as a cleansing grains because I do like the effect of it as a physical exfoliator. This one is also pretty gentle, so the Malaya Organics one and the Namari Staub are two gentler ones. She did actually, she is re-releasing sort of like a newer, updated version of this. She did send it to me. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know the differences other than a few ingredient changes between the two yet, but that is one that I will be testing soon. And then I'll give you guys a sort of like updated review on the old Staub versus the new Staub. But yeah, that is something that is being worked on. It's going to be released soon as a newer version of Staub, but I love the old version. It's something that I use all the time. It's the product of hers that I use the most. I do pull out Sorbet every once in a while. I do pull out Cocan every once in a while. Those are the main products that I use from her though, but her whole line is beautiful. If you haven't checked out the Namari line review that I did, I'll leave it linked down below, but yeah, this is the one that has sort of become like a staple in my skincare. Just never talk about it anymore. When did I do that review anyway? I feel like it was like last September. It's been a while. So I use this razor all the time. I think I've only talked about this like once on my Instagram when I first discovered it. This is by Preserve, and mine is like old. It's kind of like broken and like gross, but I mean, it still does its job. This is the Preserve razor. They're made, I believe the handles are made out of like recycled yogurt cups. They do have, they do make, silverware, plastic silverware. They do make toothbrushes as well. So Preserve makes quite a few products, but they have the razor that I like the best. I went through, it actually took me a long time to switch from like my old Gillette Venus razor to this razor because there was nothing that sort of compared to it until the 5-blade was released. They did have a 3-blade that was awful. Cut up my skin. My husband tried it on his face, cut up his face. The 3-blade is from Preserve is awful. Do not use it. Just don't. I wish they would stop making it because it's truly one of the worst things I've ever used. But they released the 5-blade, which is so much better. It basically is like the conventional, Venus razors, Gillette, the other Gillette razors, whatever razors are like 5 blades. If you're still using anything like that and you've been trying to find, a replacement, look up the Preserve 5-blade razors. These things are amazing. I've been using it for years now. I actually can get the blades to last quite a while. I shave every other day, or at least every other day, sometimes every 3 days, depending on how long I go in between showers. But then I also keep it out of water. I don't rest it on anything. So I'm able to preserve the blades for quite a while without having to replace them. I mean, is that good? I don't know, but I'm cheap. It's not like the blades are that expensive, but I think I'm just still used to paying like $30 for a 4-pack of the Venus Gillette razors or whatever. And I always think that these are that much. I forget how much like a 4-pack of these costs, but I get the blades to last quite a while. They're made of like natural ingredients. They're cruelty-free. So I really like these. If you're still looking for a cruelty-free, natural strip razor. I don't know the exact ingredients in the razor, but they are more natural than, like the Gillettes and all that. But it's cruelty-free, which is really what mattered to me, is that it was cruelty-free and not, I didn't want to be supporting Gillette anymore. So if you're looking for a cruelty-free razor, I know there are, you know, the safety razors out there now where it's like the razor blade. I think We Shave is one that makes one. I feel like there's other companies that make them. I haven't delved into that yet, so this is what I use. I might never delve into the safety razor. Honestly, it kind of scares me, the whole like razor blade, especially with like a toddler around. I don't know, like the idea of it scares me, but these are okay. I keep it out of reach. I mean, I could keep the other one out of reach too, but it's just the thought, you know, the thought that scares me. So that's the razor that I use all the time. Haven't talked about that in years. So let's talk about some other stuff in my shower. We'll talk about some shampoos. This I really only mention in empties videos anymore, but I'm buying it all the time. I'm always rebuying it. This is the Desert Essence Lemon Tea Tree Shampoo. It's clarifying for oily hair. I use this as like a clarifying shampoo, as the name states. So if I haven't washed my hair in 3, 4, 5 days, you know, if I feel like I've got some buildup from product or whatever, I use this as a first cleanse. Most of the time I'm only single cleansing because I'm showering like every other day or every 3 days, and like really my hair doesn't get that bad, but it's like when I go longer and longer in between is when I pull out this to use. But I think I don't even know how many bottles of this stuff that I've gone through, but it's a constant staple in my shower. I'm always rebuying it when I'm out of it. It's a very affordable option if you're looking for something like that. If you are not so like much a stickler on price and you want something that's more of like a clarifying, you know, really gets in there and like cleans your scalp, this is the other one that I'm using, which I don't think I've talked about it since I bought it. Or I included it in a favorites video at some point. It's the Goop Himalayan Salt Scrub. Salt Scalp Scrubs. You can see I've used a lot of it. This is something I use all the time. I think I use this, I want to say that I'm using this like at least every other week. So when my scalp needs like a really, really deep clean, I'm, you know, going in there and scrubbing it. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to rebuy it. You know, I'm not, Goop, there was something that Goop posted in regards to, I want to say it was vaccines that sort of like rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know, like I'm debating whether or not I want to keep, you know, supporting something like that. But yeah, this is something that I use all the time. Haven't talked about it since I talked about it in that favorites video. So yeah, if you haven't checked this out, maybe you don't have an issue with Goop. I don't know. I think maybe I just need to like find something similar, but this is sort of like one of the best things that I've found that like really, really deep cleans my scalp. It's got the salt in there. It's like, it scrubs. So I don't know, I'm conflicted. One of those things I'm conflicted on. I use the InnerSense Hydrating Hair Mask all the time. Yeah, I'm like almost done with this bottle specifically. I can't remember if I got this one from Beauty Heroes. I know I got one from Beauty Heroes and I got one from the Detox Market. It was in one of their bundles. But this lives in my shower. I use this at least once a week. It's very weird how fast I go through conditioner and not shampoo when I shampoo my hair more than I condition it. I always double cleanse my hair, but I only condition it once. So I'm always running out of conditioner before I'm running out of shampoo, and I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense to me. Right now, I've got 4 shampoos, 5 shampoos and 2 conditioners in my shower. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, this is one that I use all the time. It's like light enough that I can still use it without it being, you know, like weighing my hair down. If that makes sense. There are some like hair masks that can feel kind of like heavy, but this one always just makes my hair feel like moisturized and nice. And oh, I got this thing going on. That's attractive. Look in the viewfinder a little more often. But yeah, this thing lives in my shower. I'm using it all the time. My last sort of shower product I use as like a shave. It's like a shave product. It's the Lil Fox Eucalypto Moroccan Black Soap and Body Mask. So this one specifically came in an Art of Organics box or the Clean Beauty box. I want to say it was like 2 summers ago. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's basically a Beldy soap. So if you're familiar with the Kahina Beldy soap, it's this what it is. It's saponified. Is it saponified olive oil? Yeah, it's saponified olive oil and eucalyptus. Basically exactly the same product. I think of the two, I do prefer the Kahina one, but this is the one that I have on hand. So I use this to shave exclusively. I don't use soap anymore. I mean, this is soap. I don't use bar soap. I don't use, you know, specific shaving products. I use this. So if you want something that's gonna like last you a long time, that you need to shave, I've had this open nearly a year. You need like a very little bit. It creates a very, you know, foamy lather to shave your legs with, and then it also sort of has like exfoliating qualities, so when you shave it off, your legs are like extremely smooth. So this is what I'm going to use to shave my legs for like the rest of my life, as a Beldy soap. I probably will rebuy the Kahina one once this one is gone, but this, I mean, it works exactly the same. I think I just prefer the Kahina one. The Kahina one I think is a little bit more like moisturizing. This one, I mean, it's not that it's drying, this one doesn't feel as special as the Kahina one. And that could be all in my head, I don't know. But yes, this is what I use to shave, so I don't think I've ever talked about that. Not since I stopped using the Kahina one because I, you know, ran out of it. So yeah. The other things are just sort of like more random, I guess, than like specific categories. Here's an eye cream that I use all the time that I hardly ever talk about. It's the Osea Eyes and Lips. It's anti-aging, firming, and hydrating. It's got organic algae and mineral peptides. I don't like this one more than I like the Kahina one. The Kahina one is still like the best eye cream I've ever used, and I did recently just get a new bottle of it. But I wanted to use up this one as much as I can because this one is sort of like nearing the end of its life. I mean, it's probably past its expiration date at this point, but I still like to use things until I can noticeably see them go bad or smell them go bad. Okay, so I took a call and I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, this isn't something that I would rebuy, but I am using it pretty much twice a day right now just to use up as much as I can, you know, before it goes bad. What was I talking about? I don't even remember. It's nice. I feel like it does work nicely because it's got, you know, like the peptides in it, which are really good, especially for like wrinkles and things like that. But it's probably not a repurchase just because I much prefer the Kahina eye serum, and I'd rather spend, I think this is in like the $60 range, and the Kahina eye serum is $78. So, I mean, they're not too far off price point wise. This is more product. This is 1 ounce where the Kahina one, I believe, is 20 mils. So it's a little bit less product, but I like it. It works a lot better. I notice better results. Like, I feel like my under eyes look really good, but I think it's a combination of like serums and like other skincare and stuff that I'm doing, not necessarily just the eye serum, you know? So I don't really ever talk about toothpaste unless I'm doing an empties video. There's like certain products I only ever talk about, you know, where it's like an empties video. And I do use the David's toothpaste. I do like this one out of like all of the other toothpaste brands I've tried. You know, I've used Jason's. I feel like I've used this one called like Our Mare or something, or Oral Essentials. Did I say Desert Essence? I don't think I did. Desert Essence. I did just recently buy a new tube of Desert Essence charcoal to sort of like compare it to the David's charcoal. But in terms of like whitening, I don't notice any whitening with this at all. I just like it. It feels like conventional toothpaste to me, where my mouth feels like really clean and really fresh, and like it works really well, but it's, you know, got way better ingredients in it. You know, there's no fluoride, there's no sulfates. I can't remember if there's carrageenan in this or not. Yeah, there's carrageenan. So, I mean, if you're sensitive to that. But yeah, this is like my favorite toothpaste. The packaging really drives me crazy, which I've talked about before. I don't like it's this sort of like metallic tube that I really don't understand how they can recycle it. In one video where I talked about that, I believe I got a comment from one of you guys saying, well, it's like any other product in a tube. You sort of like cut it open and clean it out. But this is, I don't know if you've never had the David's toothpaste tubes, you know, you probably don't, you know what I'm talking about, but it's like metallic, and it's, once you scrunch it up, it's like not something that you can easily like reopen and clean out. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, they claim it's recyclable. I really don't see a way that you can recycle this. It would take you 20 minutes to clean out, and I mean, let's be honest, is anybody doing that? I'm not. I just don't have that kind of time. I pick my battles. So I do talk about this a little bit, but I haven't shown it on my channel. I even want to say since my like hair favorites video from like 2018. So it's been a good 6 months since it's even like popped up on my channel, though I do talk about it being a favorite. But I figured I'd just show you guys and, you know, tell you the Modern Minerals dry shampoo is literally my favorite dry shampoo. It's tinted a little bit sort of like pink. So that way, you know, if you've got lighter hair, you can use it without it, you know, making your hair dark or like, you know, too gray or whatever, or if you have like darker hair, it blends in really easily. I did use this today because I did not take a shower. Today was my no shower day. I took a shower yesterday, but yeah, this is my favorite dry shampoo. The scent of it is the best. If I had to give up all dry shampoos, I totally would, and just use this because I love this one so much. It works so well. It easily absorbs oils. It doesn't leave, you know, like my hair looking like ashy or anything. The scent of it is gorgeous. I love the Lotus Way that she puts into her products. Oh, so good. She's coming out with a hair serum, I feel like soon. I don't have my hands on it. It's been a long time since I've seen Diane. I'm hoping to see her next week. I don't know. We'll see though. She sort of like pops in and out of town every once in a while, and like when we can, we get together, but it's been quite a while. And then the last sort of like skincare thing, I've got one makeup related, but I talked to you guys about like all the makeup that I'm using. So there really isn't any makeup that I'm using that you guys don't know about or that I never talk about or haven't talked about a ton. This is the Fit Glow Night Serum. So I use this at night, so it's not a product that I ever show you sort of like using on my channel. I think I talked about it when it first came in, you know, like I mentioned it. I probably did a stories on it or something, but since then I haven't talked about it or shown it as far as I can remember. But yeah, this is just the night serum. It's a clear serum that you can wear to bed, or you can wear it during the day if you have severely chapped lips. I do sometimes put it on during the day if I've got like a real dehydration thing going on, or like my lips are really chapped, but I use this at night. If you want something vegan at night, check out the Hurrah Moon Balm. I will be showing that in next month's PR and purchases video, or for June, because I did buy it. But if you're looking for a vegan version of something like this where it leaves you use it at night and it's a very moisturizing sort of like lip product, check that one out. But this is my preferred. I use that at night. I use it most nights. There are some nights where I just forget, but the only makeup sort of thing related that I have are makeup brushes, because I don't really talk about makeup brushes all that much. And I haven't even shown these in quite a long time, but in terms of like eye makeup, this is what I'm using pretty much all the time. They're the MOTD brushes. I've got a few here. I've got, I think, pretty much all of them, and I have multiples because I do really love them. My kid's coming in. I've got the Eye Catching Crease, the Blending Bestie, and the Sultry Smudge. I love these three, especially the Sultry Smudge. It's like perfect for like that underneath the eye. So perfect. I love it for that. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the MOTD brushes, definitely do. What'd you bring in here? He brought crayons. Guys. Yeah, there's cars across the street. What are they doing over there? So yeah, if you haven't checked out the MOTD brushes, definitely do. They're some of my favorite eye makeup brushes. I don't have any of their face makeup brushes. I do prefer things, you know, like EcoTool. I've got like a collection of brushes. But for eye brushes, I mainly am using the MOTDs. They're vegan, they're, you know, synthetic, obviously. They work really well. I just absolutely love these. So that's everything that I've got that I use all the time that I sort of like never really talk about or mention. Package? Is there a package over there? Oliver loves when we get packages. Probably because I get so many, he gets so excited even though they're not always for him. But yeah, so I hope that you guys enjoyed taking a look at some of the products that I use all the time and just never really talk about. I mean, I love a lot of these things, and a lot of these things are like favorites, but they don't ever end up in like favorites videos because I don't know, there are other things, like newer things, or just like things that really excite me. But like when you've been using something for so many years, like the excitement's worn off, but it's just like, it's a good product, but like the excitement's gone. Don't draw on that, please, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that's all that I've got for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see my video on products that expired before I can finish them. I just don't want any judgment. I guess like that's the only thing is I do give a lot, I give a lot away, stuff that I know I'm not going to use. I'm always giving stuff to my family. I'm always giving stuff to my friends. I'm always sending stuff off. You know, I'll do a giveaway every once in a while if I have a lot of unused things that are like, you know, fresh. But yeah, there are sometimes things go bad because, you know, they've been hanging around a while. It's not something I feel comfortable giving to somebody else, but it's just like not something that I was able to get through. So if you guys want that and can be non-judgmental about it, let me know. I'm happy to film it. I just don't want, because I do sometimes get questioned, like, what do you do with all your stuff? You just get so much stuff, which I do, but I mean, there's a lot that I don't show you, you know, that I send off to, you know, friends or family or whatever. And I'm even sending stuff to you guys sometimes. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, just give me feedback on that. If you want to see it, let me know. If you don't, let me know. And hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.